Take marker. Michael review, guys. Get right to it. Action. All right, that's it. What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? Thank you so much for making us a part of your day. It's a Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday. It's not a beautiful day, by the way. It's been a rainy Seattle day here in Texas, in Tejas, San Antonio.
Yeah, it's been rainy since the weekend, and it seems like it's going to rain for a few more days.
Yeah, and to give you even to more depressing states here. Wimby's out. Spurs lost now 1-1 series. I'm definitely sad. It's a definitely sad day here in San Antonio.
I know, everyone was so excited when we won that first game.
I know, but anyways,
I think I saw videos where people were like,
yeah. After listening to us dance or watching to us dance, and everything, what are we talking about today?
So we are talking about the newest biopic. It is Michael. So the story of the famous musician Michael Jackson,
King of Pop, baby,
as the King of Pop.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts going in? I know we were pretty anticipating.
Yeah.
This was one of our most anticipated movies for this year, definitely.
I mean,
for me it was because this is one of those things where you have to get it right because this is just such an infamous person.
Drop something.
Very, very curious to see where that story was going to go, what they were going to tell. Obviously, it was going to be about his life. I wanted to see how much of his life they're going to capture.
Yeah.
And I was pretty stoked for this. So I had pretty high expectations going into this. What were your thoughts? Did this live up to your expectations?
Yeah, this movie, here's the thing. This movie is really, really good. It's a good film. It's okay. My problem was the fact that, it doesn't flow. It didn't flow very natural to me. It felt over edited at times, and it was kind of clipping. And I get it because they have to do jumps, right? They have to do jumps. I just feel like it was over edited. And I just, but here's the thing. I'm gonna say the positive first, okay? Before I get into the negative, because that's one of the negatives. One of the positives is Jafari Jackson fucking kills it as his uncle, impersonation, reincarnation, if you will, of Michael Jackson. He looks amazing, fantastic, everything. Like it just looks so good. He looks so good as Michael Jackson, as his uncle, and I thought that was really brilliant, really impressive to see people really magnet towards that, and I really do appreciate that. I've been seeing a couple of reviews saying, that I saw some written reviews that were just like they don't love the movie, and I'm the same way. But they loved Jafari Jackson in here.
He was great.
So amazing. I'm actually kind of interested, and that's long term. If maybe he might get nominated, but I don't know. It's tough. It's definitely gonna be a difficult year here because a lot of movies are coming out. But anyways, this movie I really, really enjoyed it. It had moments where Jafari Jackson and the little kid. We gotta get the little kid's name on there on the cast as well. The little kid that played young Michael. Man, he was amazing. He was really good in here as acting and everything. First and foremost, I do want to say this as well. Coleman Domingo killed it as Joseph Jackson. Oh my God, the villainous dad.
Giuliano Valdi was
Giuliano. Okay, Jackson. Yeah. So he did a great job. He was a great impersonation of it. I feel like that he really, really captivates you in this first part of the film because a lot of it takes place more so. I want to say maybe a little bit more than a quarter of the film takes place when he's young, like with the Jackson 5, because essentially that's what it started, right? The Jackson 5 and everything. And so I thought that was really interesting to see his musical career really take off and ignite around that era, but also after and question, do I even want to be part of the Jackson 5 and everything? So anymore.
I think like.
But what do you think of this movie? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I agree. I really, really enjoyed this film. Do I love it? No, I don't.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I wanted to, but I just didn't it didn't quite reach there to me, but it was a really high caliber. I really enjoyed it
Yeah.
for what it was. Obviously, the music is a big part of it. We see
Yeah.
the hits from Jackson 5 all the way
Yeah.
up to when he's making his solo albums.
Yeah.
So I thought it was really cool to see that, develop. We see his character develop. Like you say, he kind of stuck between the Jackson 5 and what his father's trying to,
Yeah.
impose on him, to wanting himself to branch out and be essentially
To
on
do
his
more.
own.
Yeah. I got
Be
you.
more on his own. And it was really cool. I think when we were seeing the creation of this new album that he has, his first album, we see the hits, like Billie Jean, we see the creation of Thriller, we see that was really cool process to see a lot of those things. I personally didn't know too much about him in his life, especially in the earlier years. Yeah. So I thought it was really special to see that on screen.
Yeah.
I think also some of the family were producers for this, so I thought
Yeah.
that had authenticity to it. And you just kind of see like the struggles that he went through.
Yeah, of course.
As he was younger into adulthood. I do agree there are certain parts that are over edited, and I will say I didn't quite like that we didn't get the full story.
Yeah, so the story,
behind his life, it was cut off at a certain point, which you may or may not like.
I said it from the get go though. After watching this, because of there was still a lawsuit happening because of sexual allegations and everything, and we're not gonna go too much depth into that. We're not going to touch base on that because, obviously. But anyways, we're leaving off with the point where the movie ends. And the fact is that, and I got to agree, because this reviewer said the movie's sugar-coated by the Jackson family. And it's like, I get that. I 100% believe that. But at the same time, though, it's like, damn, like, I mean, I don't know. I felt like that it tells a good message, but in a way, I kind of agree that it was very, very misinterpreted. It's almost like the way that Selena's dad did the Selena series in a way, where they made Chris be the most villainous person ever, Chris Bettis. And I just, may he rest in peace, by the way. Not Chris Bettis, but the dad. But the dad and Selena. But it just, it was just one of those things that I felt watching it. I was just like, why are you making Chris Pettis the villain here? Like, it's like, no, he's not. But same thing with this one. It's more so of that they make the dad be the villain. But at the same time, though, I feel like that, yes, it is true, obviously, right? The dad was very strict and everything. And then also, if you haven't seen that VH1 special, they made it of the whole Jackson 5. You need to go watch it. That's a really good special. And it was at the time where they came out with the Temptations as well, Temptation movie. And at the time, it was Temptation 1, Part 1 and 2. Because it was such a long movie. They didn't, back then movies weren't that long. So it's like the old the VHS tapes where it had Titanic 1, tape 1 and tape 2. So something like that. But
and also I think when you say like when it comes to rights and stuff like that, you do notice a family member is not in the movie, which I thought was strange, but it is what it is. If they didn't, sign off on the movie, it is what it is. But overall, I thought it was a really solid done film. I really enjoy, like I said, the music aspect, seeing him over the decades.
His musical career and how record-breaking career that really ignited and became the king of pop that we have all come to know. And we've seen biopics like this before. We've seen other movies like Johnny Cash, I'll Walk the Line. We've seen Ray Charles. We've seen
Elvis Presley movie that just came out recently.
Chadwick Boseman as the God. That was a great movie. So great movies like that, like Johnny Cash, Ray Charles. I mean, Jamie Foxx won an Oscar for that movie, and there's a grand scheme of things. It's like, damn, like it's like he's just a fantastic. He was born to play that role, that character, right? And then also, you get to see fame, pressure, really personal struggles. It got more into depth on that of what Michael really. Of his own personal thoughts that he was having against himself. And I like that. I really did appreciate that. We got more depth on that. What works, I gotta say, Jafari's performance works really, really well.
Jafar was great.
The music performance feels electric. It feels nostalgic for a lot of people because of the fact that Pepsi, Coca-Cola. And I was just like, I was really, really digging that.
Accident. I didn't know the accident had happened. But I thought his dancing was great. And his dancing and his singing
that's
was
what
great.
I said. His impersonation of his
amazing.
Yeah, it was just
Jafar was really. I don't know how he studied.
Yeah, every move
was amazing. Like I said, when he was on this,
he did it
especially
with
the
care.
Performances you see on the screen as they're touring, I think he did such an exceptional job.
And,
I hope he gets nominated for an Academy next. Hey, if Austin Butler can get nominated, So can Jafar Jackson.
I mean, there's a possibility. There always is. But here's the thing, though. It's going up against Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary is going to get nominated for a lot. Dune, the Odyssey's coming out this year. Dune, I already said Dune. The Avengers, but Avengers won't get nominated too much. It made me just VFX, but no, but like still, there's still a lot of movies coming out, and there's gonna. I mean, Christopher Nolan's movie, but anyways,
it better get nominated. This movie, I gotta say, even.
It won't get nominated for Best Picture. It probably will get nominated. It'll get nominated for Best Actor.
Yeah, I would say I think he at least deserves a nomination
for sure. And then it'll be a joke saying, "Can we get you to dance up here?" Like, I think that'll be a joke or something. Can we get you to do an impersonation of Michael Jackson?
And I also really like Coleman Domingo on here. I mean, I think that the first line that he said, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's Coleman Domingo.
I said it. I told you.
His voice is great.
Antonio Farqui, he was actually the director in here from Avengers. I don't know why I keep saying Avengers or Dune. Like,
I think because we got news of Avengers. I
guess. But the director actually done a lot of great projects that I've come to know, and people have come to know to be iconic. Is the famous Training Day movie. He's done Equalizer. He's worked a lot with Denzel. Southpaw, man, that was a good movie. I like Southpaw. Southpaw was directed by him, but written by Kurt Sutter. I don't know what it is with that movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Rachel McAdams. I just love that movie. I love how sad it is. It's weird to me. I like sad movies. Bruh. Yeah, but like sad movies. What doesn't work for me, I feel like that avoids so much deeper connection here. It avoids so much because it's just a controversial story. It really is. At the end of his game, at the end of his career is. Like, it really, that's where it raises a lot of eyebrows. It raises a lot of questions. And honestly, I felt like this movie ended on, this is part one.
Yeah. It is up to interpretation of how,
Was stupid though. It's not up to interpretation. We know, I don't get whatever, but it's stupid.
If they're going to continue this, I think it does. I think they are planning to. But yeah, so I could see where it just ends here, and then it is what it is. But I don't quite like that because I want to see him more in his later life through those controversies.
We didn't even see the Super Bowl performance of him when he performed on the freaking Super Bowl on the one of the great.
That was iconic.
Exactly, and it didn't even touch up on that.
Because I think wasn't it where he basically stood still for like 5 minutes the whole time people were cheering their minds off.
Yes,
like that was like history. Like come on,
exactly.
But I do hope there is a part 2. I'm not 100% convinced, but I do hope at least I guess when the litigation or whatever is done, that any filmed footage at least makes its way into an extended cut or something that we see, because it is pretty sad that we don't get to see more of what was filmed.
Yeah, it's definitely too polished, I guess, or just too sugar coated. I'll leave it at that.
For what we know has happened in his life, like you say, we know the controversies, we know the struggles he had with the drugs, we know all that, and they do kind of lead up into it softly, but I think like for what we know happened to him later on in the years, it does feel pretty abruptly to end in the way it is. I like that it's a happy ending in the way it ended, but you do know, and it's not really a happy ending.
I feel like this is definitely gonna be a crowd pleaser for some. I feel like that the crowd is really, really gonna enjoy this movie, and I feel like it's gonna make a lot of money at the box office. So. It is. I feel like it is. I feel like people are gonna still go see it. They're gonna say screw Rotten Tomatoes, because currently Rotten Tomatoes, I think I posted it earlier, it was 25%.
That's terrible. That's terrible, man.
It's better. They're saying this movie's better than The Mummy that we just saw. Lee Cronen's The Mummy. It's better.
Worse?
No, they're saying that. Oh, I'm sorry. Based on the Rotten Tomatoes reviews, they're saying that this movie, Michael's worse than Lee Cronen's The Mummy.
I disagree.
I completely disagree with that. But anyways, it's crazy to me, and I'm just like, damn, like it sucks, because at the same time I'm all like, yes, I understand this. It was sugar coated. We understand that, and it doesn't really take risk. It plays everything safe. Which I'm kind of bummed out, but I'm actually very, very, very interested to see, because there's a lot of footage that never got released or because of the lawsuit. So if I'm not mistaken, they even filmed a court scene where he testifies on the allegations. So
I would have loved to.
I would have loved to see all that, because that's where we get into like the vulnerable state of his reputation.
Plus, also, I think we get more insight into what happened. Like where did it go downhill? Like where did it fall apart in his life or like
and
that?
Again, it's the Jackson family. They don't want to expose any of that. They don't want to think about that. So that's why they leave it as the open-ended, like his story or what did they say?
It says his story continues
on
again,
or something.
Take
his
that
story's
for what you want.
Stupid. That's what it is. It's stupid. I'm gonna say it. I don't care.
But
it's stupid.
I hope we don't lose that footage. I hope we do get it at some point. Like I said, if it's a part 2, extended cut, director's cut,
I don't think it'll be a part 2, but yeah, I don't think it's enough to make a part 2. But maybe.
I mean, they could film more. But again, I don't know if it would ever come to fruition. I would hope so because again, we as an audience member, we want to see not just the start of his career, but we also want to see the rest of his life because we know what happens. We just kind of want audience just more insight into that.
No, I gotcha.
But overall, I think for what we got, it was pretty well done.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then I do want to let's touch base on ratings, Angela. What rating 1 out of 10, 10 being the highest? I want to give this rating.
I really liked it. Like I said, I enjoyed the
I'm gonna do a
dancing.
solid 7 out of 10.
I'll give it like a 7.5.
Okay,
because I really enjoyed it. I think the singing was great. The dancing, seeing the creative process, seeing his struggles a little bit and how he's trying to overcome it. I loved his performance. I think it was amazing. Solid. Yeah, 7.5 for me.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so there you have it, guys. Michael Jackson, the king of pop, has really, really... I was excited. I'm always excited for biopics. I love biopics that really talk about in depth just on careers, every careers. Doesn't matter who it is, as long as it's a famous person. I'm a fan of biopics, any type. It doesn't have to be music. It could be war movies, movies like Fury, movies like Castaway. I was gonna say Castaway, but Castaway's not based on a true story. Saving Private Ryan, movies like that just make you think and make you really go back to the history books just to verify that really did happen or that's cinema magic. But regardless, though, the king of pop, he will always be the king of pop.
Iconic.
Iconic. Michael Jackson has killed it out of the park with non-stop performances. Even Usher was inspired by him. Or
many people are inspired by him.
Yeah,
he
everybody
paved the way for a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't know that whole MTV thing happened where he basically paved the way for Black artists to be shown on MTV. I thought that was really cool to see. Again, those small things I didn't know happened. Yeah. And it was really cool to see how influential he.
I like the joke that they said. I don't know why we don't have black kids or black people on the MTV, and I was all like, "Whoa, it's crazy!" Because we saw when we grew up, it was already we saw everything, so it was just like MTV.
Yeah, so it would be on MTV. Like
white kids are scared.
I would play I would switch between MTV and VH1 when I was getting ready for school because they would play music videos.
Yeah,
back when MTV played music videos. But again, it just shows how much he paved the way, and I really like also that we see how much he did for like children and how much he did for
how much he cared
about his fans. And I thought that was a really cool insight to see. Again, I didn't know that about him. So I appreciate that they put those small details in the film.
Definitely, guys. Well, there you have it. 7 and 7.5 rating, guys. We give it a little bit above average rating. Go check out this movie in theaters. We know you guys are going to go check this out. We know you guys are going to love this movie. And again, this is movies for the fans. And I get it, it's for, critics are going to go see this movie, but this movie's for the fans. And I'll say that, guys. But thank you so much for making us a part of your day. And as always, I'm your host, Ryan D. aka Ryan 680.
I'm Angela, that Kelly Ange.
Alamo City Movie Talk, guys. Have a good one. And we'll see you at the movies. Latest. All right, we're done.